Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Simply English Pod.
Great to be here.
Today, we're diving into something really practical, a simple habit you can build for your learning.
That's right. And it starts with a question, really.
Okay.
Can you stay focused for just 25 minutes?
25 minutes. That sounds doable. It feels like enough time to actually make some progress on something.
But maybe short enough that you don't start drifting off or checking your phone constantly.
Yeah, before the distractions really kick in.
In this episode, we're going to unpack the science behind what some call a tiny tomato timer.
Tomato timer. Okay, intriguing.
And we'll see how this simple idea can genuinely transform how you approach learning, especially English.
So stick with us, because by the end of this episode, you'll have a really clear, straightforward technique. It's helped loads of people.
It really has. It sort of leverages your brain's natural attention cycles.
Makes studying feel less like a huge mountain to climb.
Kind of, yeah. More like a series of manageable sprints. And it leads to surprising improvements in understanding and remembering things.
Okay, I'm sold already. What is this magical technique?
It's called the Pomodoro technique.
Pomodoro, like the Italian word for tomato.
That's the one.
All right, let's get into it then. The Pomodoro technique. What fundamentally is it?
At its core, it's super simple. You work with intense focus for 25 minutes.
Okay.
And then you take a short break, just 5 minutes.
25 on, 5 off.
Yeah.
Simple. Where did this come from? Who thought of the tomato timer?
It goes back to the late 1980s. A university student named Francesco Cirio.
A student, okay.
Yeah, he was struggling to focus on his studies, so he grabbed a kitchen timer, and it just happened to be shaped like a tomato. So he timed his study bursts using this little tomato timer, and the name stuck, Pomodoro.
I love that. Such a simple origin. It makes it feel very accessible, not some complex system.
Totally. It proves effective strategies don't need to be complicated.
So if someone listening wants to try this right now, what are the exact steps? How do they do it?
Okay, there are basically 5 steps. First, and this is key, choose one specific task.
Just one. No multitasking.
Definitely no multitasking, one task. Then step 2, set a timer for 25 minutes.
Okay. Kitchen timer, phone timer.
Any timer works. Step 3, work on that one task with complete focus. No interruptions, if you can help it, until the timer rings.
Right, laser focus.
Then step 4, when the timer goes off, stop. Take a short break, just 5 minutes.
Okay, a little breather.
And finally, step 5. After you've done 4 of these 25-minute sessions, 4 Pomodoros, you take a longer break, usually about 15 to 30 minutes.
Got it. 4 Pomodoro, then a proper rest.
Yeah.
Okay, it sounds straightforward, but why does it work? Especially for learning something like a language.
The fascinating thing is, it seems to work with our brain's natural rhythms, not against them.
So it's not forcing us to do something unnatural, like concentrating for hours straight.
Which, let's face it, is really hard and often counterproductive. We just get tired and stop absorbing information.
So is there actual science backing this up? Brain facts and stuff?
Oh, absolutely. Lots of research supports this. For instance, studies show that our ability to maintain peak focus, like real concentration, typically lasts somewhere between 20 and maybe 45 minutes.
So 25 minutes fits right in that sweet spot.
It does, before you start getting that mental fatigue.
Okay, that makes sense. What about the breaks? Those 5-minute breaks seem tiny. Do they really matter?
They matter a lot, actually. There's a report from Cornell Health that points out how short, purposeful breaks actually boost your energy, your productivity, and, crucially, your focus for the next work session.
So it's not wasted time. It's like recharging.
It's preparing you to focus again. And there's more. Other research suggests that during these brief rests, your brain is replaying or consolidating what you've just learned.
While I'm just stretching or getting water?
It helps solidify the memories. So those short breaks are actively helping to, wire in the new skills or information.
Wow, okay. That's a bit of a game changer. I always felt guilty taking breaks.
You shouldn't. And newer research from just last year, apparently, suggests that using these 25-minute blocks consistently actually strengthens the neural pathways linked to sustained concentration.
So it's like exercise for your focus muscle.
That's a great way to put it. Training your focus muscle.
I like that.
And there's also a study from the University of Illinois. They found that brief diversions, like those 5-minute breaks, significantly improve your ability to stay focused on a task for longer overall.
How does that work?
It seems to prevent something called attention residue.
Attention residue. Sounds sticky.
It's like when your mind is still stuck on the previous thing you were doing, making it hard to fully focus on the new task. The break helps clear that away.
Okay, that makes total sense. You need a clean slate for the next focus period.
And if we think about learning overall, there's the forgetting curve.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. We forget things quickly.
Depressingly quickly. Herman Ebbinghaus discovered we can forget something like 70% of new information within just 24 hours if we don't reinforce it.
70%? That's huge. All that study effort.
It can feel like it's wasted, can't it? But here's where Pomodoro helps again. Those structured breaks, especially the longer ones, give you natural points to quickly review or reinforce what you learned in the previous sessions.
Ah, so the breaks fight the forgetting curve too.
They help combat it, yes.
Uh-huh.
It builds in that reinforcement.
Okay. And what about specifically for language learners? You mentioned English earlier.
Yes, there's specific research there too. Studies, for example, from the University of Michigan, show that alternating between focused study like grammar or vocabulary and short rests optimizes the brain's ability to process and consolidate that new language information.
So it mimics how we naturally absorb language, maybe? Little bits at a time.
Sort of, yeah. It helps the brain digest the new vocabulary, the new grammar structures, more effectively than just cramming for hours.
That is really encouraging for anyone listening who's learning English. Okay, so let's make it super practical. How does someone start today? 3 easy steps.
Super simple. First, pick one task, just one English-related thing you want to work on. Maybe it's learning 10 new words, maybe it's understanding a short article. And crucially, try to eliminate distractions. Close those extra browser tabs. Silence your phone. Create your focus zone. Step 2, set a timer for 25 minutes. Use your phone, a kitchen timer, doesn't matter. There are even apps designed for this.
Oh yeah, those apps can be quite motivating. Sometimes they grow a virtual tree if you stay focused.
Exactly. Adds a bit of fun. Okay, step 3. Work with 100% focus until that timer rings. Really try. Then, when it rings, stop. Take your 5-minute recharge break.
And what should you do in that break? Just sit there?
No, definitely get up, stand, stretch, walk around, get some water, hydrate. Even just a micro break like that can boost your performance when you go back to the task.
Okay, pick a task. Set timer, focus, short break. Seems simple. Are there common mistakes people make? Things to watch out for?
Yeah, a few common pitfalls. The biggest one, checking messages or social media during the 25 minutes. Even a quick glance shatters your focus.
Guilty. It's so tempting.
It really is. Another big one is skipping the breaks. You think, oh, I'm in the zone, I'll just keep going. But those breaks are essential for the technique to work long term. They prevent burnout.
The breaks aren't optional. They're part of the system.
Correct. Also, don't try to cram too much into one 25-minute Pomodoro. Be realistic. It's about consistent focus, not superhuman speed.
Good point. Manage expectations.
And finally, don't get discouraged if you struggle to focus initially. It's a skill. It takes practice to build that focus muscle we talked about.
So it's okay if your mind wanders the first few times.
Totally okay. The goal isn't instant perfection. If you get distracted, just gently notice it and bring your focus back to your task. No judgment. It gets easier.
That's reassuring. Takes the pressure off. Okay, now let's get specific for our English learners. How can they use this Pomodoro technique, say, in a study session? Maybe combine skills.
Yes. Let's build what I call a power combo for English learning using Pomodoros. It helps structure a longer study session.
Ooh, a power combo. I like the sound of that. Lay it on us.
Okay, imagine a block of 4 Pomodoros. Pomodoro 1, 25 minutes. You could do some shadowing. Listen to a dialogue, maybe from an English movie or even one of our episodes.
Good idea. Listen and repeat. Focus on pronunciation.
Then your 5-minute break. Maybe walk around your room, mentally reviewing some phrases from the dialogue. Keep it active.
Okay, shadowing first. What's next?
Pomodoro 2, 25 minutes. Focus on vocabulary from that same dialogue. Look up words, understand their meaning, maybe write them down. Then your 5-minute break. Make a cup of tea, and while you're waiting, repeat those new words aloud. Practice saying them.
Making use of even small moments. Nice. Pomodoro 3.
Pomodoro 3, 25 minutes. Now, practice writing. Try using the new vocabulary you just studied. Write sentences, maybe a short paragraph about the dialogue's topic.
Applying the words actively. Good.
For the next 5-minute break, do some stretching. While you stretch, visualize yourself using those new words in a real conversation. Picture the scenario.
Mental rehearsal. And the last one, Pomodoro 4.
Pomodoro 4, 25 minutes. Time to practice speaking. Maybe record yourself talking about a related topic, trying to naturally weave in the new vocabulary and phrases.
Bringing it all together. Listening, vocab, writing, speaking.
Exactly. And after that, take a proper break.
15, 20 minutes maybe?
Yes, step away completely. And you mentioned active breaks earlier.
Right. Getting up and moving.
Research really backs this up. Active breaks reduce fatigue, improve focus later on. There was a Stanford study that found walking increased creative output by something like 60%.
60%, just from a short walk.
Amazing, isn't it? So definitely use those breaks to move a little. And notice how in that power combo, we switched skills.
Yeah, listening, then vocab, then writing, then speaking.
Alternating skills like that also helps prevent mental fatigue compared to, say, just doing grammar exercises for 2 hours straight. It keeps your brain more engaged.
That makes a lot of sense. Keep it varied within the structure. Okay, so once someone has mastered the basics, are there ways to tweak it or go further?
Definitely. Once you're comfortable, you can start experimenting.
Like what?
You can adjust the timing. Maybe 25 minutes isn't perfect for you. Some people prefer longer focus blocks, like 50 minutes followed by a 10-minute break, 50-10, or maybe 30-10.
So you can experiment to find your own optimal rhythm.
You absolutely should. Another thing is task batching. Grouping similar small tasks into one Pomodoro, or dedicating several Pomodoros in a row to one type of activity, like maybe just reading for 2 Pomodoros.
Okay. For efficiency.
There's even something called the deliberate distraction technique, mainly for creative tasks. During your break, you briefly look at something related but different to spark new connections.
Interesting. A bit counterintuitive, but I can see how that might work for creativity.
And you can do progressive Pomodoro, gradually increasing your focus time as you get better. Maybe start at 20 minutes, work up to 25, then 30.
Building up that focus muscle.
And some people find Pomodoro journaling helpful, tracking how many Pomodoros you complete and what you achieve. It provides good feedback.
Data for yourself.
And one last thing, especially relevant for learners, the spacing effect. Educational psychologists have shown that spacing out your learning and revision, which the Pomodoro technique naturally encourages with its work break cycles, is way more effective for long-term retention than cramming. Like, studies show it can improve recall by up to 80% compared to massed practice.
80%, that's huge.
It really ties it all together. Focus, managing energy, fighting, forgetting, and building consistency.
Wow. Okay, so for everyone listening, it sounds like this Pomodoro technique, this little tomato timer idea, is genuinely a simple but really quite powerful tool.
It is, especially for tackling something that requires consistent effort, like learning English.
But the only way to really know if it clicks for you
Is to give it a try.
So, here's our challenge to you today. Try just one Pomodoro. Just one. Set that timer for 25 minutes. Pick one English task you've maybe been putting off.
See how it feels. Work with focus, then take that 5-minute break. Notice how you felt during the focus time and how you feel after the break.
And we genuinely want to hear about it. Head down to the comment section below this episode and tell us. What did you tackle in your 25 minutes? How did it feel?
Yeah, share your experience. And if you found this useful, please do subscribe to Simply English Pod. We've got lots more science-backed practical learning tips coming your way.
Remember, often the most powerful habits are the simple, consistent ones. And maybe, just maybe, this Pomodoro technique could be a small change that makes a big difference in your English learning journey.
Couldn't agree more. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode. We really hope it helps you find a little more focus and maybe even enjoyment in your studies.
We'll catch you next time, right here on Simply English Pod, helping you on your path to confident English.
And hey, if you have ideas for topics you'd like us to cover in future episodes, let us know in the comments too. We're always listening.